everybody, my name is Sean and this is New Yankee Auto Systems. Today is a good day. It's a day I've been waiting a while for. The owner builder of the Legends car for my next project has called me and told me that it is finally ready for pickup. What we had planned was to have two cars at the same time, one that was running supplied by somebody else, so that I could look at that car and have a reference of how to get Petty Chevy up and running. That didn't really work out, but I've been busy on Petty Chevy in the meantime. However, now is time to get started on a new project. What we have planned is we're going to go pick up this project. We've got to go to the bank. We've got to go pick up a truck and trailer so we can go get the car, and then we've got to go bring it over to the shop. It is a cold day in October. I am not going to be able to do very much with the car other than get it in place and get it ready. Hopefully you will be seeing more of this car come the springtime, but I have a backlog of videos for Petty Chevy that we're going to be using, and maybe I'll be able to work on the new car in the meantime. But enough pandering. Let's go ahead and go get the other car. Just heading out the door now. Make sure I got all my stuff. My car's already running. Do my quick check. Wallet. Phone. Keys are in the car. Door's locked. Got my camera bag. Tripods, everything else. So I'm going to get this car and get it over to the shop before it gets too terribly cold anymore. The reason why I'm not going to be able to do a whole bunch of videos with this car until spring is because I don't have a garage that has heat to work in. So that kind of limits my build times between early spring at best, mid-spring probably, till just about now, until it just gets too cold to work on. But we're working on that. At my house, I am getting ready to put in a garage. I've got a driveway path all set up. You can't really see the markers too well on camera. There's some pink flags there. A driveway is going to come down into my yard, and in the back there we're going to be putting up a 24 by 35, I believe, 24 by 35 garage, prefab building on a concrete slab. Hopefully we'll be able to get that started soon. I don't particularly know if anyone's going to come out and do a concrete slab in the autumn or winter time, but that's the game plan. And then hopefully in spring we can actually purchase the building and get it up and really start getting rolling on these projects and have a new space for everything. So we're going to have the two cars, and then we're also going to have my wife's 1971 Oldsmobile Cutlass at some point. That is going to be a project on the channel as well. I don't know exactly when. We have to have the garage first so that we have somewhere to put that car. The other two cars are going to be fine in the garage, but that one's currently in storage in upstate New York, which is about 13 hours away. If we don't have a space ready for that to just get it stored and where it's going to finally lay, it's just not going to be a good time. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all our stuff in my car, and oh, you know what? You guys haven't seen my car yet. It's not that great, but it's a 2012 Fiat Abarth 500 with about 41,000 miles on the odometer. This is going to be a small project too. I currently have a catback exhaust, or not a catback, an axle back exhaust ordered for this. I'm going to make a small video for that too. There's not going to be a whole bunch of content on this. This is my daily driver. I promised myself that I would not sink another 9-10 grand into a daily driver and then not get it back when I went to sell it. I did that. I ran into that problem before with my Dodge SRT4 Neon. I put a bunch of stuff on that car, and when we went to move, the market wasn't very well for that car. I only got $3,500 for it. That hurt so bad. I don't want to do that again. But it's a nice car. But we're going to go ahead and stop babbling about that. We're going to go ahead and get on to the bank here Street dog almost got hit by a car. Too many street dogs here. It is currently 37 degrees at 8:30 in the morning. Very cold day. That doesn't leave me a lot of opportunity to do anything with this project car other than go and pick it up. But we're gonna go ahead and head out. All right, we've just gotten to the farm, pulled in with the car, got to go get the gate open and then get everything underway so we can get the car back to the shop so that we can get in, get everything situated, and can finally show you guys the second project here on the Yankee Auto Systems. I'm so excited for this one. I really want this one to go quickly so I can get it into a customer's hands by next summer. I know that doesn't sound like, hey, that's super quick, but for me, my timeline, I'm doing all of this as side projects for now. I don't really have the time to get to do this firsthand as just the business anymore. I've got to make sure that I can support doing all of this. But right now we're just cruising on down to the shop. I'm gonna have to stop here, put the camera down and go close the gate. And then maybe get this thing unloaded here quickly. Be right back. All right guys, we're almost there. Got probably another half mile on the farm until we get to the shop. Get the car unloaded. Can't explain how excited I am for this. This one runs. He started it for me, it runs. It's well and good. This one will also do a lot to hopefully teach us what we don't know about the Petty Chevy already with a good running car, how to get it set up well. That's my hope anyway. There we go. There's our wildlife for the day. Cows laying down in the pasture, some of the donkeys. Hey donkey! Bye donkey! There's the shop over there. We're almost there. Ready or not, here it is. This is the Volunteer. Alright, so we're here at the shop, and now that the Volunteer is here, Petty Chevy is going to have to go in the back corner to make room for it. Petty Chevy is going to be put on the back burner as far as projects, but I am well ahead in my build content, so I've still got more Petty Chevy to come, but what I'm going to start focusing on is Volunteer so that I can get that one turned around and flipped a lot quicker, and also be able to learn from that car so that we can get Petty Chevy done the way that it needs to be done. Just going to go ahead and get this onto some dollies and get it spun around and make some room for Volunteer. Alright, so now that Petty Chevy's out of the way, we have some room, not a ton, but should have enough room to get Volunteer in here. and easy. It's really dumb. But it's only me. I don't have anybody to help me today. It worked. Didn't fall off, didn't get damaged. I'll count it as a win. Well, it was supposed to run. Slave cylinder's stuck. It's fine. Car's been sitting for like 13 years. Project's a project is a project. Bah. Well, maybe it just needed to roll for whatever reason. I don't know, but guess what? He's running. So, when you have one incomplete Legends car, what do? You buy another. Everybody, this is Volunteer. This is the second car for the new Yankee Auto Systems project series. We're going to keep this one a lot simpler than Petty Chevy is. Petty Chevy is a learning experience for me, where I get to tool around and try and build a car the way that I want it to. This car still does need some attention. Doesn't want to start right away. Doesn't have a choke cable installed just like the other car. Hasn't been run for terribly long in a long time, and as you can see, there's still a little bit of smoke that needs to burn off of it. But what we're going to do with this one is relatively straightforward. We're going to put on some Ford style front headlights, and then we're going to put on some Ford style or old school style tail lights. We're going to try and do a much better job with our wiring harness and everything as far as our switch panels up front. We're going to try and clean that up a little bit. But we're not going to dive into anything else into this car that it doesn't need. I still have to mechanically look over this car. The oil has been changed. I'm going to need to make sure to change the rear fluid on the differential. I'm going to need to just make sure to give it a good nut and bolt check. Tidy it up a little bit, get some vinyl on her, and get it shipped out, hopefully early spring, midsummer. But that's the plans for the Volunteer. Let's go take a bit more in-depth look around the car itself. So the Volunteer car is a 1934 style Ford sedan. This one came with some gauges. It looks like oil pressure and oil temperature. Those are good. It doesn't look like they work yet, which I was told that they probably don't. The interior is finished in black sheet metaling as opposed to Petty Chevy that has white. It has slightly different closeout panels on it because it is slightly different in the back end. Everything in the cars for a sedan should be the same up until about this point, and then what changes is the body. So the closeout panels are going to change. The access panel is going to change. Clearly the whole body itself is different. with a different fender design front and rear. This one does have the bump out over here, which I am assuming is designed for the Ford fenders, because the Chevy fender doesn't have that bump out, but I imagine that that is to give clearance for the exhaust. The wheels, I believe, well, no, they're different. These are a 6-hole style wheel, whereas Petty Chevy has the 5-hole or star style. These are finished in black, while those are finished in gray. The front of the vehicle obviously is different as well. It's got the Ford style front nose. This one actually looks like, yes, the fenders are different as well, or realistically, that might be running the Chevy fenders on the front as well. I haven't taken too hard of a look at the Ford fenders, so I don't know what they actually look at. The hood is different. Everything in this back section is the same except for up here, the way it closes out. So this Ford hood matches this Ford grille. You can mix and match the fenders on different body styles with the grills. It's just kind of hard to do, but I have seen it done. These running boards are finished in orange as opposed to black. That may change. This one does have some dents inside, but what we're going to try and do is rework these because the rest of the panel looks pretty good. There is some damage on some of the fenders as to be expected. Some of the paint has come off on some of the areas. We're not sure if we're going to really dig too much into making this one aesthetically look good. Aesthetically, there was less damage than Petty Chevy. On the back side of Volunteer, there is some damage to the body, specifically on the right rear corner there. It's not terrible, but it looks like maybe this body was touching too closely to that. Someone definitely tried to do something there. I don't know what just yet. There is some damage to the left rear fender. It is missing a chunk. I'll have to try and fix that to some degree. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet because I'd like to keep this car in orange. And you might be wondering why this car is called Volunteer. So I'll give you two reasons for that. The car is called Volunteer because when I originally negotiated both of these cars purchased at the same time, this car, the engine was completely torn apart. The builder said that he had it going for somebody else and they backed out on it. He said if I could put a deposit down and an agreed upon price, he would get the car running again. So that's what we did. He got it running, and I wanted another car that was running from somebody else having built it who's been in the Legends car business before, so that I have something to learn from. So it's going to be volunteering all of its secrets so that I can learn how to build on Petty Chevy. The second reason might be glaringly obvious. I live in Tennessee. I'm not from Tennessee, but I'm kind of trying to build this car more to an homage to where I do live, and big in this area, everyone is all about the Tennessee Volunteers. Also so happens that the orange color, it might not be exactly the same, but it's pretty close as far as the Volunteer colors. So what we're going to do with this is I'm going to end up getting some decals made that have New Yankee Auto Systems on them. Of course, I'm going to have to support myself as well, and that's probably going to go on the back panel here. As far as aesthetically on the rest of the car, I do want to have the white circle with the 3 stars inside of it. I think the orange and black and white will go really good with this car, so I'd like to try and leave most of the paint alone on this car. I don't know what the paint code is. There's no way to really tell. And unless I just decide to get some areas vinyl wrapped, maybe in a different color, maybe in black, what I was thinking was I'll possibly do the fenders in black or white vinyl. One, because I'm going to have to repair this area or find another fender anyhow and get that put on there, and then obviously color's not going to match. It's going to be really hard to color match to this. So what I'm thinking is I might do the running boards in black so that I can start some black on this area here, carry it from that line into the fenders. Might also do white, but I think that'd be a little garish. I'd like white to be my accent, not necessarily my second tone color. So that's pretty much the quick walk around of Volunteer. There isn't really too much to go into just yet. I don't have the time today to mechanically look into this car. This is my day off, and it's taken me about 3 hours to get the car to the shop. So with that being said, keep your eyes peeled for more volunteer content. I am planning on working on videos for the new build series over the winter where I can. This shop that I'm in right now is not heated, and as you can see, there's a lot more stuff in the side there. So what the deal is, I use this space from a good friend, Daniel. He's the landlord on it. We had come to an agreement that he had a space that I could use, but it needed cleaned out. So everything on the side of the garage that you see me working in is stuff that I've completely cleared out and I've made for my own space. But I just have to be reasonable. They have to use the storage space as well. They're actually getting ready to plan to build on their property, so this storage space has always been open to them. I wish that there was something I could do to do better as far as have more space and not be so cramped, but working on that. We don't really know when our garage is going to be built on our homestead, but there will be a change of scenery once that happens. It is going to happen, I just don't know when. Just bear with me while I get the volunteer content together. I don't know exactly what I'm going to start with yet. I've still got some things on Petty Chevy that I don't want to forget about and don't want to make it that I don't do on those things. I'm going to have to make sure to get volunteers' battery disconnected before I leave. I've already got Petty Chevys disconnected. That shouldn't be an issue. Might also have to put new batteries in both of them come spring or recharge them because they're going to be sitting for quite a while not started. But that's my plans with volunteer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll give you guys a little bit more content. Look for the content on the Facebook page, facebook.com/New Yankee Auto. Don't forget to like and subscribe to New Yankee Auto Systems to see everything that we have available. We will also have some small videos coming on my personal daily driver, the Fiat 500 Abarth, nicknamed Tony. I did actually just get an axle back exhaust in today, so I'm probably going to be working on that in the first video for the Tony content. Not build series, not building that car. Daily driver, can't do much to it. But look forward to the things that are come. I've got other things in the works right now, but I've got a lot of things planned for you guys, so I appreciate you making it this far. I hope you guys enjoyed this video introducing you guys to the new Project Volunteer. Keep your eyes peeled. We've got great things coming here on New Yankee Auto Systems.